All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. Now, this is episode number 15. So, I wanted to talk about a bunch of things, but this is a funny thing that happened to me around. I think this was back in December. So this is how I almost burned my house down. I was in. Oh yeah, I remember. So I was chilling in my house. My little brother, he wanted something to eat. I think the day before, the day prior, he got some Burger King or something like that. They bought him something like that, and then he didn't want to go put in the microwave to heat it up. And I was like, I didn't want to go either, but my dad was like, no, one of you guys have to go. He was like screaming at us. He was like, no, one of you have to go. And he didn't want to go because I think he was playing like, Fortnite or something. I don't know, but he was playing something. And I was watching YouTube. I didn't want to go. So I think I was watching YouTube and I was texting you in Discord. So I was doing something like that, and I was mad because I didn't want to get interrupted. And then so I ended up going. I grabbed the bag, and then I go in, I go and I open the microwave up. Then I put the bag in there. When I put the bag, I put it for like a minute. Then the thing starts heating up and stuff. It's like, you know how microwave machines are.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, I start smelling like this smoke. I'm like, at first I ignored it. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's probably like it could be anything. I checked the kitchen. Everything was off, so there was like no gas leaking or anything like that whatsoever. Then I look, and I see like little smoke coming out of the microwave. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I open it and I grab the bag. Like, since it was just like 30 seconds in, the bag wasn't that heavy. I mean, it wasn't that hot. I grabbed the paper bag and I put it on the table. And I look, I open it, and then you know what I ended up seeing in there?
A fire.
No, I ended up seeing a bag of Ruffles chips in there, and the bag was literally catching on fire because you know how the bags have like little aluminum on it or like little plastic that kind of like
Oh
aluminum.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Aluminum.
So that thing was starting to spark the fire, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked at it. The whole bag was burned. Like the bottom half was burned, and it was stuck in the paper bag. And the thing, it was like smoking fire. So it was like smoke coming out, and I was smelling it. And then, so I quickly grabbed the bag. I grabbed the little chicken nuggets that were in there, and then I ended up putting them back so it could heat up. And then I,
What
I
the?
was just I was just standing in circles. I was like tapping my feet. I was like what I was doing like a little 360 spin. I was just like waiting for the fucking chicken nuggets to be ready. So I take them out and I go and I put them in his room. And then I come back downstairs really quickly. And I get the bag before anybody else sees me. And I get it. And then the thing is like it was on fire because the bag of the chips turned into like bubble gum. Like it was like bubble gum.
Oh
Like
damn.
when it's all chewed up, that's how it looked like.
Yo.
It was all black and burnt. And it was like I was like, what the fuck? And I grabbed it and I had it in my hands. And then I don't know why I will grab the black part. Clearly it was hot. It was burning, but my dumb ass grabbed it. And I was like, ah. And then the little burnt plastic that looked like bubble gum, it got on my middle finger. And then that thing was like stuck in my middle finger. I had to like kind of like rip it off a bit to take it out. Like luckily it didn't like peel off my whole skin.
Wait, you put the whole
Like
bag in there? Like the whole McDonald's bag?
so it was a Burger King bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Like,
inside the bag, someone put a bag of chips. I don't know who put a bag of chips in
oh,
there.
got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that burnt up, not the actual Burger King food. It was a bag of chips. I
Yeah.
have no idea who put that in there. And then so I grab it, and then once I went outside. I was gonna throw it outside. I was like, wait, no. If I throw this bag that's literally smoking, it's probably gonna spark a fire in the trash can. It's probably gonna make an even bigger fire. So I grabbed the hose, I put it on the floor, and I literally just sprayed it with a bunch of water. I just go like, just spraying a crap ton of water on the bag, and then I grab it and it, I put so much water in it, and the bag was still smoking. There was still smoke coming out of it. It was still hot. So I ended up doing even for more longer. I grabbed the bag and I wrapped it around in the paper bag, the Burger King paper bag, and then the bag with chips was just in there like in the ball. I put it in the trash can, and then no one ever found out. I don't think anyone checked if there was a burnt bag in there, but I put it in there, and then I was good to go. and
Dang,
then no one got. Until this day, I've never been caught that I almost started a fire in my house. It wasn't
crazy.
really my fault, but like I also should have checked the bag.
A young arson.
Yeah.
So actually, I kind of have something like this. I burned myself though. So in class, we was like playing with like oil lamps. Like we was playing with actual fire, but like
Yeah.
our teacher was so chill. He was like, yeah, it's kind of like the end of the year, just have fun. I'm really not pushy about the assignment, cause like we were supposed to like write it down, like what happens
Oh,
when we mix
nice.
this chemical with fire. He was looking at pushy, so you know, and like we already been through like a tons of labs, so like he already like like we just grabbed our goggles and went, and so honestly, he didn't explain what like all the chemicals do. But like it wasn't like we was gonna really bark our school, right? It wasn't like we was gonna
Yeah.
blow up the school. But you know how like you light a firework and it has like that like fuzz, like the stuff like
Oh yeah, I know what
yeah,
you're
so
talking
there was a chemical like that, right? And the
about.
ones I was playing with, they all just changed the color of the fire. So it was like
Oh
green,
hell no.
blue. So I was like, okay, this one might make orange. So I just put it in there and I was just like put my hand above it and then this thing just sparks freaking hits my hand, bro. It hurt it so bad. And there was other ones that made it like pop. It was cool.
Man.
But like Loki, like there was a girl with like long hair and stuff. I was like, dang, she might burn herself. Yeah, so honestly, that was a day that like a student could have like turned into like a cook team in, right? But that was pretty much it. Oh, and the 4th of July. So honestly, I like to make like somewhat uh water water bottle bombs. So I don't know if you heard this firework. Oh yeah, you're from California. You probably heard of it.
Yeah.
It's called
Mhm.
snakes. They're like little black
Thanks.
dots, and you light
Yeah,
them.
yeah, Sim.
Yeah. So honestly, I put like a whole lot of blackjacks in there, and then I forgot I put a snake in there.
Oh no.
So I lit it, I threw it, and then it went boom, right? And then it
Mhm.
landed. And I was just looking at it like, oh, how many does it take to actually like make a big boom? And I leave it. I'm about to go make another one, and then all I see is this like thing is on fire. And honestly, like I live in an apartment, right? So there's like no water hose, so I just like stump it out.
Damn.
But after I
Sounds like
stumped it out, I was like looky kind of scared, so I lit another one, and then
what?
no, I made sure there was no stinks in this one, and then I don't know,
Okay.
something
Yeah.
just caught me off guard and it was still in my hand, right? And then it just like blew up in my hand, like it's fine and everything, but it was just like, oh dang,
Man,
yeah,
we're we're going crazy that day.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, like we got like some blackjacks, and then we also got like another like a knockoff brand. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That knockoff brand got me pissed because I could have blew off my finger. Like there were so many duds, and then there were so many ones that went so fast. Like I don't, I was so scared to light some of them. And I'm not gonna lie, 4th of July is my favorite holiday because I love it. But like I lit one, and then it went so fast it like blew up in my hand. I'm like, everyone just looked at me. I was just like, I was trying to like not
Yeah.
act like it hurt it. I was just like, oh
You were acting tough.
yeah,
That's crazy. Like that's the thing about it. You always gotta be careful because otherwise you lose your hand or you can lose your fingers.
yeah. Okay, actually, since we're talking about fireworks, when I started 7th grade, right, there was this girl, and she was like wearing like I don't know how to describe it, but she was wearing something, right, showing a little skin, and then I thought it was a
Okay.
birthmark, right? So I was like, what happened right there? And she was like, oh, it's a what do you call it? A firework. And I was like, how did that happen? She was like, oh, we was playing with fireworks, and someone tossed one at me, and it blew up.
Oh shit.
I was like, what the fuck? What kind
Man.
of Hunger Games were they playing?
You know her family is crazy.
Oh God.
Imagine like you date her and then you go to her house and then they're like, it's 4th of July. And the initiation for you to date her is get a firework. Get hit by
Yeah.
a firework.
Yeah, isn't that Knife Out? Or isn't there a movie like that? Ready or Not, I think.
I think there is. Ready or
Yeah,
not.
and they have to like survive and shit. It's like a family tradition. I don't know. It's a good movie.
I feel like I don't know. It reminds me of this one movie. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. But I remember there was a trailer for this movie. I think it came up during 2020 in the pandemic, so like it didn't become popular. But it was basically about how this rich people had they like kidnap a bunch of people and they put them like in this island. They were trying to like hunt them down, and the people had to survive. Something
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
never saw it, but I saw the trailer.
Wasn't
I
like the
think the
main
movie.
character a girl?
I don't. I think so. I don't know. It's
I
just like
I,
I
I
feel like
think I've seen it.
the movie failed though because it just came out during the pandemic. No one went to the movie theaters. So
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I think I know what you're talking about. It's good though.
I forgot the name. To
I
be
don't
honest.
think it was an island. They put them in like Russia.
Really? Rush.
Yeah, like I don't know. That's the movie I'm talking about. But I on that, have you heard of the Alaskan Triangle?
That's going for no, no. Tell me about it.
So you heard of the Bogonic
Bermuda.
Triangle?
Yeah.
So basically, in Alaska, I'm gonna pronounce these names wrong, but it's like Arden Ardencronian to Juvius, and then there's another one I forgot. But basically, like these 3 points make a triangle, and then within this triangle, like you can go missing.
What the heck?
Yeah,
In
so
Alaska.
this yeah, in Alaska. So this area began to get attraction in October 1972 when a small plane was carrying U.S. Major Leader Hall Barracks, Alaska Congressman Nick Birch, and aided by Russell Brown, and their pilot was Don Jones, and
Hmm.
they just like vanished, right? And the plane
What
was
the heck?
going to um Arden, like I said, I pronounce these names like Arcanon to Jovis, right? And then
Even
for
the name sounds weird.
yeah, they are. I think it's
Sound like
native.
Latin,
Yeah,
Latin or native. Yeah.
but after they disappear for more than a month, 50 civilian planes and 40 military aircraft and dozens of boats covered the 32,000 square mile area. There was no plane of a plane crash, the men, or a
It's
wreck. No
crazy.
debris at all. Nothing was found. And ever
Ew.
since, like then, more than
Hmm.
16,000 people have disappeared in the Alaskan Triangle. And this
It's crazy.
makes the missing person rate more twice than the national in the US
In the
average.
national.
Yeah,
Wow,
national. Yeah.
that's crazy. 'Cause the national average is pretty high as well.
Yeah. And all right, so like of course like a lot of people are disappearing. So people blame the disappearance on severe weather because you got to realize it's Alaska.
Hmm.
Aliens to even to vortexes and a shape-shifting demon called of Tahiti India lord called the Kashuth. And
Kind of
to
like the skinwalkers.
yeah, basically like the skinwalker, but to explain the Kashun, right? I know I'm saying
Hmm.
it wrong. Basically, you know what an otter is?
Yeah.
Think of like an otter pissed off on steroids. Like this like I
What
looked
the
up a
heck?
picture of it, it's like buff as shit and it's mad.
That looks crazy.
Yeah. So like you said you was gonna talk about like how people get lost in forests.
Actually, before I talk about that, there's this other thing that I'm pretty sure it's in Washington. It's I can't remember because I saw this some time ago. But basically in Washington, I'm pretty sure it's not Washington D.C. but the other one.
Yeah,
It has
Washington
to be
State.
what it has to be Washington State. I can't remember for sure, but it's basically how back in the 1990s there was this man who went on an expedition mission because it was around his house, so there's a lot of like green forest plants around there. He went on an expedition to search for I don't know what he was doing, but I think he was just hiking. And he said that he stumbled upon the notes of some person that found like this. I don't think he mentioned a cave, but he mentioned. I'm assuming it's a cave because he said he went inside of it and he found like a portal. And they say that in that place, once he went in it, he went missing, and then he was never to be found again. And then after that, ever since that happened, people in Washington, everybody who lives around the area, they all believe that the thing is real. But it got crazier from there because when that ended up happening, the people, I guess the government or Google, whoever's in charge of the maps, whoever's in charge of Google Earth Maps, ended up blocking up blocked the part where the supposed portal is at. So like if you search up in Washington the area of the guy of the portal where he went missing, you can't find it. It's all blocked. It's all like
Like it's
off
actually
grid.
blocked, or is it just like grass?
It's blocked. It's all gray. Like you can see around it, but you can't see that area, and it's a pretty big chunk of
Oh,
area.
gotcha.
Then every year, a bunch of people like Washington residents, they ended up going. They go to the area. You can go so further with the with your Google Maps or your iPhone Maps. You can go up until the point where it's blocked. Then after that, you pretty much just gotta go walking because you can't. There's no maps on roads or routes or anything, so you gotta go walking. And then all the people in Washington until this day, since the 1990s, they've been looking for the portal, but no one has found anything. They found some notes of the guy talking about how he found this portal, what they think is a portal that took him to some other, probably some other dimension or like some other world. And it's just crazy because all the information that was related to him about him going there, it's all gone now. Like it's all deleted. The only people that know is the people from Washington. I didn't know about this until like I saw it on the video.
Yeah. So, what do you think that like happens to people who like get sucked up into like vortexes or like portals?
I feel like they probably could go to some other dimension. I don't know if you've seen the movie. It's one of my favorite movies, but it's called John Carter of Mars.
Carter.
It's a movie. It's a movie where he's on the 1800s, so during the cowboy times, the Wild West. And I remember in the movie he ends up getting chased by a bunch of he ends up getting chased by the police, and he rides into this cave, this Native American cave, where like they told him don't go in there.
Yeah.
So long story short, in the movie, basically he goes into the cave. He ends up finding this one guy who's supposed to be like a guardian. He has like this necklace thing, and he accidentally took it because he accidentally killed the guy. He ended up teleporting from Earth to Mars. He ended up realizing in the movie that because he thought he was in the Wild West, and when he was there, he ended up living in the Wild West, and then I mean, not in the Wild West. He ended up living in Mars. He found out that he was in another planet with aliens, and he found out that he had superpowers because for some reason humans in Mars will be able to jump very high. It's a good movie. It's basically him about he lives in that place. He falls in love with this princess. Looks kind of like a human. She's basically a human, but and I feel like that. I feel like what they show in that movie is probably one a thing that could happen. Like you end up going to some other planet or some other world, some other dimension, maybe back in time or in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, when he got on this planet, was there like other humans? Like, I know you said like the princess, but like,
No, in the movie, it's pretty cool. You search up John Carter of Mars. He first he's lost. There's like this green aliens with like six hands that they find him. They kind of look like I don't know how to describe them, but they're like green aliens. They're very tall, and they ended up finding him, and then they ended up thinking that he's like some. Because in Mars, apparently there's like these white gorillas in the movie, so they end up thinking that he's like a baby gorilla. So they catch him, and they're like they have him tied up like as he's a baby, and then like he ends up later on they find out that he's not a gorilla. They find out he's like some other species. So then they make him fight for them because they realize that he has like superpowers. That he can jump very high. And he does fight for them, but then he ends up like quitting. And then that's when he ends up like saving the princess. And then the princess, like her people, they were all humans. Their skin was like very, I guess you can say like very light skin, like to the point where they look kind of like orange, kind of like orange red, and they had like all blue eyes, and they
okay,
looked like humans. Just like skin tone was like a bit different. They were humans in the movie. Oh, and the Guardians, the guys who like have to watch to teleport you into different planets, were like this pale. They looked like humans, but they were very pale with no hair, and they had blue eyes. So I guess they kind of looked like humans. So, but he was the only human that went to Mars apparently in the movie.
got you.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So last episode, we were supposed to talk about the movie Don't Look Up.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I didn't get time to watch it, so like, try to explain it without any spoilers to like the viewers.
I don't know because I feel like I might spoil it. I feel like you should watch it first, so then
All
you
right,
could kind of know. Yeah, but I don't know if you want me to talk about the killer plant theory, people going missing, or you want to talk about Ed and Eddie.
go ahead and talk about the pure plant theory.
All right, so basically, it's about how there's this theory that people believe that around the whole U.S. They didn't really specify if it meant like around the whole U.S. or around the whole world. I think it's just about in the U.S. how they think that there's like this different kind of plant that scientists haven't discovered. It basically says that this plant accidentally makes people go crazy, or like when you touch it or when you smell it, this plant makes people go crazy, and it makes them like ended up killing themselves. So this
Oh, yeah, I
so
heard
this
of
is
this.
why like so this is why people think that you know how when someone ends up getting lost in the forest, they're like, oh, we found like this crazy person naked or something like that.
Yeah.
So they think that the plant basically makes them go like they're in drugs, and then this is why they believe that why some people end up getting like stuck in a tree or like lost in a random place. You think this like very deep in the woods to the point where like when you're hiking in trails, you accidentally touch it, and it makes you go crazy, and it makes you like kill yourself basically. This is what they believe, and they believe that this could be the reason why so many people, like thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, died every year in the U.S. because of this plant theory that either they think that they put chemicals in it, or they think that it's just there, but scientists haven't discovered it yet. So this is why people are missing all the time. They think that they just go nuts with it, basically.
Okay. I actually heard of this. So what I heard in Australia, there's a plant that can make you kill yourself, right? So there was like a
Yeah.
guy or a scientist or like a researcher, right? And like there's this plant that this horse rubbed up against, right? And the reason and it causes great pain. That's the reason why you want to kill yourself, because of like the suffering and stuff, right? So the
Yeah.
horse went in so much pain, it like jumped off like I don't know how big the cliff was, but it was like huge, and it like killed himself. Yeah,
I think I also heard of that, but yeah, I think it's like something about how it makes you. I think that's why they go crazy because they like scratching themselves so much that they ended up
yeah,
dying.
yeah. All right. So,
Then
oh, go ahead.
like I don't know if you're gonna move on to the Ed and Eddie, but like real quick, there's also this other. I guess it's the same theory of the same plant, but it's basically about how they say that there was also a killer plant theory right before the asteroid hit the dinosaurs. I think that there was this crazy theory that it also affected dinosaurs, and that this is why they all ended up dying, and it wasn't just the asteroid. I think that that same plant is the same one that is still alive until this day.
Yeah, cause like I remember there was I watched this video and there's like they actually have plants from like dinosaur periods, and they have them like I guess it's like a somewhat of like a zoo, so they don't like die off by like nature.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really cool because like they're actually like interesting looking. Like it looks like from a different planet. Some of them.
it's just crazy how like things used to look so different before.
Yeah. All right. So if you remember in the last episode, I was supposed to talk about the Ed and Eddie. So honestly, it's gonna be there's a lot of them. And before we start, this is all from Reddit. Okay. So I'm gonna do the three main characters, Ed and Eddie. So Eddie is actually from a different time period. Of course, he was in the 1930s. He was a con artist, and he was trying to make like money for his family and stuff during the Great Depression. He died by drowning. But the way he died was he scammed these kids, and they were chasing him, and like I guess like he fell in a river and died.
Crazy.
And
Like
then go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do they know that he was from that time?
I don't know. It's Reddit. But Ed, right? They said like he was like part of like the 50s, and they just said car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they say. It says like Eddie was a 50s child. Eddie loved like monster movies, sci-fi.
Oh
He
yeah.
died from a car crash. Yeah. And then
And the other one?
Eddie, the guy. All right, so they said he was like a yuppie type player. He grew up in the 1980s, and basically he was like home a lot, right? So they said like he did one of his like science experiments and it went wrong and it exploded in his face, but he died at the hospital. And
Shit.
because the doctors tried to save him, and like his face was like all messed up, right? And they said that's why he wears the sock on his head, like the cover up, like all the I guess like explosions, and that's why you
Yeah,
never
like
see it take like being taken off.
that's great. It's crazy. They all have like crazy deaths, basically.
Yeah.
How they still alive though?
No, because like here's the thing, they're all dead. Because if you look at their tongue,
Hmm.
they're all different color. Like it's like sign of like decayed, I guess. Because like the human tongue, I guess, changes color after we die.
Yeah.
So like all of them are dead. Like I know Eddie is like his is like green and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, they're all, like all dead. But I guess
So
like
they're like
huh?
in heaven or something. They're like
Uh,
in heaven.
yeah, I guess. But what do you call it? Um, what do you call it? I think the reason how he knows this is because like the show came out, of course, I think in like the 90s. But if you actually think about it, like the time that like Eddie was always trying to make money no matter what, trying to scam people, Great Depression, everyone was trying to make money. And then like,
Yeah.
so I guess like that's how he got the time periods. But I don't know. Of course, it's all from Reddit.
Yeah. It makes sense though. Like
Yeah, of
that's
course.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what about the other people, like the other like side characters that come up.
Like, all right. I'll do two more because like it's long. So, you remember Jimmy?
Yeah.
So, he died. He was part of the 1920s. He died from a sickness that
Oh
his
shit.
family was able to what do you call it? Treat because they couldn't afford the treatment.
Oh, isn't that the fat guy
Jimmy,
or
I don't,
no?
I don't, I
That was
don't
Jimmy.
remember, man. It's been so long since I watched that
Oh,
show.
I'm searching it up. Oh, it's the kid with braces,
Yeah,
but he does look weak.
and then Roth.
Bro.
Uh, he was his family was a immigrant farm boy from the early 19s who was killed by an animal.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, because they're all basically dead.
Yeah, they're all dead. Like the thing is like they're all dead from different time periods, which is like weird but dark at the same time.
It's weird how they're all just in the same place.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? It's like,
I'll do Kevin. That's the last one. So
all right.
Kevin, all right, let me read it. Kevin lived in a tough neighborhood in South LA in the 19s, like so 1990. He was beaten to death by his alcoholic father. In the
Holy shit.
afterlife, he envisioned a perfect father who showed him and gifted him in order to shut out the memories with his terrible father that he had on earth.
That's sad.
That's tough. Yeah, that's like dark.
I feel like that's the darkest one.
Yeah. No, there was a dang. Okay, I guess I got to do it. So, Nas was 1970 girl, flower girl who, and it says right here, quote, let's say her death wasn't exactly PG. She's the only character whose parents supposedly died with her, but has to shut out the memory then in the afterlife, explaining why she's the only kid that receives who never receives demand from her parents.
Oh shit.
I don't know what they mean by like PG, bro.
Me neither, but like I don't know what happened to the parents though. So like
Yeah,
that's all crazy. Like
yeah,
so
it's
they're all
deep, it's dark. Yeah,
he made the cartoon all dark and deep. I wonder what did the creator of the cartoon ever say anything about this?
I don't know. I didn't search that up.
Oh, it's gonna reminds me of I don't know if I talked about this before, but Amazing World of Gumball.
I don't think you have. Go ahead.
They talk about how apparently Amazing World of Gumball, Gumball, the blue guy, the cat,
Yeah, yeah. This is my
about how
childhood. Yeah.
basically how he well, I'm trying to search it up just to see if I'm right. Basically about how he's on a simulation or something like that. Like his whole life is a lie, and
What?
it's like about how each episode is about how it's about how Gumball's, because it's basically about Gumball and his life, and it talks about how. Look, let me read it right here. It says in each episode the story starts with Gumball or Darwin harassing other characters. Some episodes supporting characters usually get hurt by them or even killed off. However, the two never compensate for their wrongdoings. Out of all the characters, Gumball and Darwin and their father seem to be the only ones with paranoid mindsets. It's basically talking about how they're crazy and they are all like basically in a simulation or something like that. And it says that the world of Elmore exists only in Watterson's mind as a result of entering a coma during an accident. Throughout an
What
episode,
the
Rob
fuck?
Throughout an episode, Rob appears and no one seems to be scared of what's happening unless Gumball isn't the subject. Many supporting characters are like let's just chill with while Gumball and Darwin solve the problem. Rob, the guy who appears as in the antagonist of the show in the later episodes, isn't actually the villain at all. Season one, he's an ordinary sociopathic kid who appears as the puppet of Gumball's show. However, he was chosen to be Gumball's assassin. While tending to assassinate Gumball, the world of Elmore is fading away because Gumball, the creator of the universe, isn't there. Apart from Elmore, there isn't a sign of any other towns. So basically, Rob, I just remember who Rob is. Rob, remember that one guy who like he was supposed to be on Gumball's friend, but he tried to kill him.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, that guy. Basically, that guy is actually is not actually a bad guy. Basically, he's someone who's trying to kill Gumball because Gumball is crazy. Basically, Gumball's family is just fucking crazy. And
Yeah.
then he's trying to kill Gumball because basically he's just a crazy kid who's got in a coma. And basically, the reason why, and I don't know if you remember the episode where they travel into another dimension where Gumball's dad and Darwin.
Is this like where Rob like got the remote?
I think it is. They're like they get sucked into like this vortex, and then they're like in
Yeah,
another
yeah, okay.
dimension.
Yeah, okay, I remember
Everything's
that.
fading away. So basically, it's talking about how everything is fading away because Gumball is not being part of the world anymore. So this is why everything is getting destroyed. So it's like basically his whole world is made up by an illusion of his mind, and then everything is fading away because he's forgetting about it. And then there's a reason why that one. I think that girl. I think her name was Sally. The girl with the ice cream cone girl. The ice cream cone girl. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why she disappeared from the show because basically she's just an illusion from Gumball. And then it gets even crazier. So basically, he talks about how Elmo starts to rip apart due to the Waters losing all their possessions after Richard throws their money to the ocean. It seems everything revolving around how important things are to the family tend to radically change Elmore. The simulation started to glitch as a result, causing the citizens and building to wrap into distorted versions of themselves. The simulation was restored as soon as Wattersons signed the joyful burial contract, thus saving the universe as they knew it. So basically, it's talking about how they are all crazy and how the whole family they're basically kind of like I guess like psychopaths, and their whole life is just a simulation they made up in their minds. And it's a crazy theory how they made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's deep, bro. Cause like I'm over here
yeah,
thinking about it. Like, cause like I remember this one episode where like they robbed the bank. Or like
yeah.
no, like Richard, like he did something like, oh, he I don't know, but like he was supposed to deposit money,
Yeah.
and like he came in like with like a helmet or something on. He looked at like a robber, and then like he deposited too much because like everyone thought he was gonna rob the bank.
I think I
Yeah.
remember that.
And honestly, as a psychopathic bro, like that's low key like that's weird. That is.
Yeah. Basically, they're all crazy, and then he talks about how you know how their town is basically the only one there. There's like no other cities nearby.
Yeah.
Basically, because they made it up. They think that place is real.
Okay, so I don't. I think her name is Claire. Like she like I don't know how to describe it, but like she was like basically like the new kid in town in school. And
Yeah,
I don't remember if they talked about like her. I don't know if they showed her past, like her
I don't
past
think so.
town. But like
No,
yeah,
they never did. It was just that one, the same town all the time.
dang, that's crazy, bro.
And then I was thinking too. You know how Darwin used to like that girl that was dead, the ghost.
Oh, Claire, I think I don't know. Yeah, Petra. I don't
Is
know.
it Claire?
I'm saying random names. I
I
think
don't
it's
know either.
Claire.
But that ghost girl, basically, I feel like
Terry,
that's probably
Terry.
someone. Terry, I feel like that's probably someone he either killed or like someone that died and he never got to see her again.
Dog. No, no, no. I just got something crazy. So what if it was like rejection, right?
Yeah,
And then he killed her, and then like she like, cause like like ghosts are like basically like spirits that don't leave or something.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, what if like he killed her, and then like he's like somehow in possession and control of her.
What the? I think that would make sense.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but bro, it's deep now.
It is deep. It's just all crazy. Like I want to know who has the time to just think about all these things.
I know who has the time to think about that, cause like honestly.
You're just like, oh, let's see what this show is about.
All right, so since we're kind of somewhat like deep in the cartoons, have you heard of like? I mean, I think everyone has, but like the Seven Deadly Sins with SpongeBob.
I think nah,
No, you didn't. So do you know the Seven Deadly Sins?
the anime.
Nah, like Bible wise, like
Oh yeah,
lust,
yeah,
greed. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so basically,
Man, out here thinking fucking anime.
but like so lust, they're basically linking lust to SpongeBob, worth to what do you call it? What's it? Squidward, because how angry he gets.
Oh yeah,
Off to Patrick, Fry to Sandy, Cloverfield to what's his pet name? His pet Snell, Gary.
Gary,
Yeah, and Envy to what's
the
the
crabs, probably.
no? What's the little green dude name?
Oh, the pickle guy. What's his name?
Yeah,
Well, I forgot his name.
but
Pickle.
him
I forgot it.
and Greed to Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So and then there's another theory. Like, do you know like Mr. Krabs killed every crab, and that's the secret formula to the Krabby Patty?
Uh, I, I think you told me this once because like, didn't you say that there's a reason why he's the only crab in the
Yeah,
whole city?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's yeah. So the thing goes, it's like there used to be like a whole lot of crabs, and what do you call it? Like a whole lot of crabs with like a whole lot of business as well. And so like I
Yeah.
guess like one night he like invited him over, or he just like went on a rampage and killed every crab, stored the meat, right? Which caused every like business that the other crabs have to shut down, and which made the Krusty Krab what it is today.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I think I heard of one where how the city they live in, Bikini Bottom, is because there was a nuclear explosion,
Oh
and then
yeah.
the reason why they all look weird is because there was the radioactive that touched them, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, there was like a yeah. I read this before. I think we actually talked about this in class, like because I think it was the U.S. doing actual nuclear testing,
Uh-huh.
and basically, excuse me, basically, all that nuclear waste caused caused the ability to have a starfish talking, an actual sponge talking, and a livable chickmunk or squirrel.
Yeah, yeah, that, that makes sense. Like, I also got, I guess since we're in the same topic about this, I got some theories about the Simpsons, basically.
You know.
Yeah, so the first one is basically how Bart is actually a writer. He created the whole Simpsons show. Like, he's basically the writer of the show, and it's basically about his family. And then the second one is how Homer has been in a coma for over 2 decades, and that's the reason why everybody's just so young. How no one has ever, how they're just all the same age and they never grow. So that's basically the whole thing about it. And then there's this one that gets kind of crazy. It's basically about how Bart is actually smarter than his sister Lisa, because you know how Lisa is supposed to be like the smartest girl out of
Yeah.
everybody. So basically, it's about how he's actually smarter than her, but the only reason he chooses to be dumb and do pranks is because he doesn't want to like discourage her and make her feel bad, like she's actually dumb.
Wait, she's actually dumb?
Yeah, so basically, it's about how she's smart, but she's not as smart as Bart. So basically, she's kind of dumb compared to him, and she's actually not a genius. So it's basically about how Bart chooses to be a dumbass, basically just to make his sister look smarter, so she could feel better about herself.
Is there like any proof of like Bart actually being smart?
I think that like later on in the episodes where they're older, there's like some episodes where he's like a genius or something, like makes music.
Oh dang. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's another one basically where it's basically about how Homer's actually intelligent and how they're all super geniuses actually. But
Yeah.
they just all look crazy because all their friends are just basically dumb.
I there's
Yeah.
actually wait, go ahead.
No, just go ahead first.
So since we're on the Simpsons, there's actually so you said like it's all in a coma. So there's actually like a theory that or something. I remember there's like a lot of evidence back this up. That what mostly happens in the Simpsons is like only a week. Like every single episode is like a week, and like
A week.
time moves like really slow or something. So
Oh
yeah,
shit.
like I don't remember it fully, but yeah, like time moves really slow in The Simpsons, and everything was like a week. Like of course when they're all grown up and stuff, like that's like different like uh thing, but like most of the episodes is like a week.
A week. That makes sense. Why they're all the same age?
Yeah,
Imagine living there. You could be like 100 years old and you look the same.
yeah. So I got this theory about Charlie Brown. So you heard about Caillou having cancer, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Brown has cancer, and it's basically the same thing like Caillou. So like all the other characters in Caillou and Charlie Brown aren't bald, right?
Hmm.
And I believe Charlie Brown is 8. So the theory goes like uh everything like works out, and then like kind of how they starts is like he's in a coma, slowly fading away, and every like episode or like show of Charlie Brown is a dream.
Bro, why are these theories all so dark?
For real.
They're dark as hell. Like, what the hell? It's about people dying and stuff.
Yeah.
They're either crazy or they're just fucking dying. Like,
Well, so all right. This is the last one. I think we all know this one. So you know Ash from Pokemon, right?
yeah.
You know, have you heard about him being in a coma?
No,
So
never heard of them.
have you seen the first episode of Pokemon?
I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
So you know how he's like running away from some Pokemon, like on a
I think
bike.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so they're basically saying that like he like crashes or like falls or gets hit by them, right? And
Hmm.
then the only thing he like, and he's in a coma, and that's why like everyone in town, like every town has the same nurse and police officer because those are the two people he remembers before he slipped into a coma.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Like, they're all about comas.
for real.
There's this other one. I think this was the last one I'll talk about. The Simpsons. But I don't know if you remember Barney, the alcoholic guy, the fat guy.
The cop.
No. He will wear like a polo pink shirt, like kind of orange. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that guy. And then you remember that one kid, the kid, the bully, the one with the
The
jean
fat
jacket,
bully, right?
and the fat bully. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically about how Barney and the fat bully are the same person, and it's basically about how Barney. I don't know which one. I think Yeah, Barney, the alcoholic, basically time traveled back in the past to save his younger self when he was a bully. He's basically trying to change him up and make him to a good person, so in the future he doesn't become an alcoholic. So
Dang.
he's basically the same person, and he time traveled back into the regular time.
Yo, that's actually crazy. So he's basically saved himself. Wait, why
He's
does he
basically
still bully though?
no, I don't know. No, no, the adult version, the Barney the alcoholic, he's trying to save the younger version.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean that is
they
possible with all like the stuff, the time telling and stuff, but that's crazy.
they're all crazy shit.
All right. So thank you guys for making it to the end of the episode. If you guys do like, make sure you like, comment, share with someone who also likes this kind of content. And hope y'all take care. Peace.
Peace, guys. Take care and subscribe, like and subscribe and comment.